A lot of people are like, what happened to this person? What is the tea behind you and this person not hanging out? Guys, and before we continue on with today's video, I want to thank our sponsor, which is Stereo. I've loved connecting with you guys on Stereo this past week. I'm going live again this Friday, the 19th. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, make sure that you do, because we are going to be discussing partnership versus dominator societies, how that affects us as individuals, as well as communities as a whole. And this kind of plays on a theme that we've been going with this whole week. So make sure that you tune in. Check out this clip from the last show to see what I'm talking about.
Please tell when you were in, I think it was, I don't know, 2nd or 3rd grade, and you had this one friend. She was a nice girl. Well, I was walking away from the classroom with your friend's mother, and she and I were chatting on the way out of the school. And I can't remember what she was talking about. We were comparing notes on some sort of parenting thing. And she said, at some point she said, well, do you yell at your child?
Oh my God.
I sort of just stared at her for a second, confused, and went, well, yeah.
Thank you so much to Stereo for partnering with me to get closer to my audience. And again, make sure you all download the app because I'm going live this Friday, so you don't want to miss it. Let's continue on with the video. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another vlog. Don't forget to turn on post notifications, subscribe, obviously, if you haven't, and comment down below for the wholesome algorithm. It is Tuesday. I feel like I have such a busy week this week, which is really good. Been very blessed recently, so thank you guys for being the main reason of that. Thanks, bitch. But yeah, I woke up really early. I feel like I'm about to start my period or something. Sorry if that's TMI. Never, I take it back. That is not even TMI. I was trying to work out this morning and I just was not feeling it. And y'all know me, I am someone who enjoys working out most of the time. So if I'm like, ew, this is horrible, I hate it, I'm usually like, it's like I know I need to chill. So I cut the workout short. I just took a shower, got ready. Just filmed my makeup for a reel, and now I'm having some black tea. I didn't really need another coffee yet. I did have a cup this morning, but I wanted something warm to sip on. It's like low-key cold as fuck and cloudy as fuck. But yeah, how are y'all doing? Let me know in a comment. I just filmed a sponsorship for this brand, so I'm really excited, and I'm just gonna attach it onto this video. So I think I'm gonna go edit that right now, just put it in really quick and submit it to them. I feel like I've low-key been getting a lot of brands reaching out to me that want like a really quick turnaround time. And I guess that makes sense because a lot of them are Valentine's Day related, so they want them done by, you know, before then. But I have to say, it is the inner capitalism ingrained in me, but I really love the thrill of being busy every day and having like these goals. I don't know, y'all. I have a lot of earth in my chart. I do have some Capricorn in there. I just love the grind. I love the game. So I just went to package this Poshmark, and bro, I like went to go get the scissors because they were in my room, and then they just like evaporated, and I was like, what the fuck? That's like the worst thing. Like, I hate that short-term, it's not like short-term memory loss, but it's like you don't remember. And then I was like, okay, the only possible option is I taped them into the box. So I had to unbox my Poshmark, and they were in fact in there. I think they had been like, because I also got some tissue paper from my room to like put in the box, so it was kind of like folded in there. So it's not like I'm dumb. I'm not like an airhead, like at all. Still glad we figured that out though, because that was really getting to me. Okay, it finally exported, so I'm just gonna upload this, submit it to them, and see what they say. So it's a little later. I'm just making a coffee, but I am making it half decaf. Then we're gonna do a little chat. It's been a while since I've done a tea Q&A, like questions, like tea questions, I don't know. So I'm gonna make this, and then we're gonna have our tea time. Here we go. Ew, I hope my sink's not dirty right now. Oh my god. I don't, like, it's not dirty, but I think there's like a lemon seed. I just have some black coffee, and then this is some oat milk that I heated up with pumpkin pie spice bench and some monk fruit sweetener. Yum. Okay, y'all. First question I see, do you regret your vegan era where you were very forceful of others to go vegan? It's kind of hard to say, to be honest. Part of me is like, no regrets about anything. And also I was primarily a child for that. Like, it was mostly when I was 16 and 17 that I was making those videos and like really in that. Once I had turned 18, like that was summer 2016, I feel like that whole thing had kind of like slowed down. You live and you learn, and I just try not to be too like harsh on my past self or judgmental or like regretful. I was young and didn't really know any better. And again, this is not about like being vegan, but just the whole like vibe of that specific social media movement. There's a lot that I disagree with now, and just in terms of how people, including myself, would go about it, go about promoting it, and just like honestly what I was doing to myself. So do I regret? Yes and no. Like, I don't know. Again, you learn from everything. So who knows if I'd be the person I am today, who I fuck with, if I hadn't gone through that. Do you plan to stay in LA forever? This is a really relevant question since I have been talking about what I'm gonna do when this lease is up. I don't want anyone to get confused though. It's not like I have beef with LA or anything. I feel like a lot of people move here, it's not what they expected, so they are like, everyone there's fake, I can never do that again, and leave. That could be someone's experience, but I just feel like it just depends on who you hang out with. So I'm just kind of going where the wind takes me, but do you feel me? It's not like I am trying to get away, but then I'm also not like, I love it here, I could stay forever. If something else fits my vibe, I'm gonna do that. So yeah, but yeah, definitely a relevant question since I've been kind of thinking about that myself. Okay, so of course, and I know that's probably why you clicked on this video, a lot of people are like, what happened to this person? What is the tea behind you and this person not hanging out? And I've said it before, y'all, I'll say it again, I'm never gonna answer questions like this because I feel like I will give you an answer in the sense that a lot of the people that I used to be friends with, and especially friends with publicly, I'm no longer friends with. And I feel like that's just, first of all, that's very normal regardless of social media or if it's two YouTubers being friends or whatever. It's very normal for friendships you had when you were 17 or 18 to no longer fit when you grow up or when the years go by. In a lot of ways, I'm the same person that I was then, but I've grown up a lot and matured a lot. I feel like my values are a little different, and I've definitely learned how, or I guess like what my boundaries are and how to stick up for those boundaries. And those are things I didn't really know at that age. So therefore a lot of those friendships did not work out. But yeah, I just personally feel like if I'm not friends with someone, if I don't talk to someone, why would I then go onto a public video and talk about them? Like, that's not my vibe. I'm not about the drama, and there is no drama. It's just like people grow apart, you change, and I'm sure you can relate. I'm sure there's people you were friends with earlier in life that you're not friends with anymore, and sometimes it's like you have a falling out and sometimes you just genuinely drift apart, and that's completely fine. But I will say that I definitely like the person I am now a lot more than I was when I was 17, 18, even 19. I was very naive, I think, especially when I first moved to LA. I was very open to being friends with people, and I didn't always put myself and my own boundaries and what was really best for me first. And that is kind of a regret I have, I guess. But again, you live and you learn. So that's definitely something I've worked on a lot, and I feel like I have good people around me now. So I mean, that's not to say like, oh, I had bad people around me, but you know, it's like people just have different vibes, and when you're at a certain place in your life, you attract certain people, and I just feel like where I'm at now, I'm attracting people and things, opportunities, whatever, that actually fit me. So I hope that makes sense. Y'all should know me well enough by now to know that I'm not a drama channel. I just feel, especially with the people that you guys ask about, that was so long ago. Like, I feel so emotionally distant from that now. I don't feel like I even want to talk about it because it just seems so irrelevant. So I hope that doesn't disappoint you, but I just honestly want to be honest and let you know where I'm coming from. It's not like I'm trying to hide anything or like there was this huge dramatic thing that happened, because that's not really it. Like, you just grow up, you grow apart, that's just life. So I hope that doesn't disappoint you, but please just know, because I will literally still get questions or DMs or tweets with people asking me, and I'm never gonna respond to that. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I don't want it to seem like I'm building a wall between us, but I just want you to know what's really how I'm feeling. Yeah. Anyway, we need a little coffee after that one. Dude, but you know what I mean? Like, I think something really cool, maybe something I've been reflecting on since it's been Mercury retrograde, is how much I have healed from certain things, and not even like related to the people that sometimes you guys are curious about, but like, what am I trying to say? I guess like it gives me hope, you know, when I do think about a situation and like genuinely feel like I've moved on from it or genuinely healed from it, you know, especially in relationships, romantic relationships or friendships, but then also just, you know, certain phases in life. Like even with the vegan thing, I feel now like I can look back and sometimes I want to cringe, but I'm still able to have empathy for my past self and be like, oh, okay, well, I didn't know any better. I've grown since then, and I've moved on since then, and I've learned since then. So you don't, I don't know, at least for me, like, I don't have anger at myself during that time. Like, or even like, oh, you made these decisions, you were friends with these people, like, I regret that so much. It's like, okay, well, that's where I was in life at that time, and I moved on from it. So it gives me hope. It makes me like a little happy inside. We're getting real deep in this Mercury retrograde chit chat. Okay, someone asks, do you avoid white guys? This is like really funny. I try to avoid all guys, period. No, but I will say growing up, I didn't even really grow up in a place that was super diverse. Like, it was predominantly white, but my parents have always been very just accepting, and like, I don't know, both me and my sister, like if we ever were dating someone or talking to someone or had friends who were like different than us, our parents were always very accepting of that. I've just always been really open to, I guess, people or cultures that are different than me. So I'm not gonna say, oh, I only date other white people, or I only date this race or that or whatever. I'm here for the vibes, honestly. And I will say, especially with white people, if you say you only date a specific race that's not white, I feel like that can be very fetishy and therefore a little racist. I mean, it kind of is a form of racism. You know, people think like, oh, I can't be racist, like I date this race, or I talk to people of this race, whatever, and it's like you're actually just fetishizing them, and therefore it is racism. So yeah, but just like cis het guys in general, dude, I want to make a whole video about especially as women, but you know, my channel's for the girls, the gays, and the theys, but just decentering romantic relationships, and especially if you are attracted to cis het men, but it could really apply to anything, I guess, but especially that, just really decentering that in your life. And I feel like I've definitely had a lot more experience with that over the past year and with the pandemic, because I have spent a lot more time alone and not really having the option to date or to go out and to talk to guys and have guys notice me. So I kind of want to make a whole video on that, and like how my perspective has changed and how like my standards have changed almost. I don't know. Let me know if you want me to talk about that in a podcast, or if you would like a whole video about it. But then I was literally thinking about it, and then I saw someone tweet something about it, and I was like, oh, bitch. But I will say for now, like, I just feel like, especially as women, we're taught that our lives basically have to revolve around romance and men. We aren't really our own person. It's like we are whatever we are in relation to a man. We're like the girlfriend, we're the wife, or the daughter. We're never really just our own person. And even look at, like, you know, if something happens to someone, they're always like, she could be someone's wife, she could be someone's daughter. Like, it's like, why doesn't her life matter just because she's a person? So it can be really scary to like find your own identity outside of that. Like, who am I apart from my family, apart from any romantic relationships or how men view me or whatever? What are my genuine interests, and what do I actually like, and what is the best for me? That's something I've been thinking about a lot. So let me know if you want me to go more in depth, but yeah. We're getting deep. Let me see. This is something I will talk about because I never had a personal relationship with this person. But someone says, do you agree with Cena's thoughts on life? And then I feel like there was more to her question, but it got cut off. But even looking back at that, I'm sure, I know she had an interview or something, but I think she talked about it. Her grand finale video where she was like crying and like basically saying she was gonna quit the internet and, you know, it's all fake and whatever. I was at the pinnacle of success. So iconic, like truly so iconic. But I don't really remember much from her recent interview. I feel like it's probably a couple years old by now. But I do think she was like, you know, I was just very emotional at that time. And like she was kind of talking about it like with the same perspective of like, I've grown since then. You know, I was so young back then, like I was very emotional in that moment, like and I do have to respect that, you know, even though she was young at the time and very emotional in the moment, whatever, like she did do what she said she was gonna do. Like she still, you know, she didn't like try to go back to the influencer life or anything. And then also I feel like social media has changed a lot since then as well. But that's such an iconic time, and that's such a niche time too, because I feel like talking to people who I wasn't necessarily friends with at that time, or maybe who are a little older than me, who weren't in that vegan world, Like, they probably wouldn't even know. And that was like so, like, such a huge moment for me at least, and I'm sure some of you. But yeah, wow. Have you lost any friendships during the pandemic? I would have to say no, not really. Only because I feel like before the pandemic, I already was kind of like in a good place as far as the relationships in my life. Like, I feel like I had strong relationships and people that I actually fucked with. So going into the pandemic, I don't know, like, I wasn't friends with anyone who was like crazy. Like, obviously there's like people that I know that maybe like still go to parties or still go to the club or are still traveling, but it's not like those are my friends. Like, oh, someone you see at the club sometimes, it's like, that's not really like my friend. That's not a relationship in my life. That's like someone I see when I go out, and someone I saw when I went out in 2019, and we haven't unfollowed each other, you know? So to answer your question, no. I definitely see people less, obviously, but I haven't like lost any friends, because I know that's definitely been a huge deal for some people. Like, people have lost friendships because some of their friends just don't care about the pandemic at all. And I feel like that's a very valid reason to not be friends with someone, because it might seem petty, like say your friend invites you to a party and then gets mad that you don't want to go or something, but at the end of the day, that's like a very big value to not share. And I feel like that's a perfectly valid reason to not want to continue the relationship. So let me know, have you lost any friends? This is not really tea, but there are 2 questions related to waking up early. This girl says, how do you get up so early and not be exhausted? Are you getting enough sleep? Sis. So I wake up at like 5. Recently I've been waking up at 4:30, which is great. Last night I literally went to sleep at 8 p.m. So it's not like I am getting like 4 hours of sleep or something. Like, I am getting 8 or 9 hours. Those are the hours that I choose, or that my body chooses. Do you drink coffee before you eat breakfast? Typically, yes. Usually I like to wake up. Y'all will see my morning routine. I wonder if it's already up, but I will have a hydration. I'll make my lemon water. Then after I drink that, I will have a coffee. And then sometimes I'm not really hungry after that and I can work out or like edit a video or something, and then I like to eat. But sometimes I want to eat before that, so then I do. Okay, last question. This one's a little serious. What do your bad days look like? So I feel like for me, I don't know, I feel like I said this, even though especially 2020 was, I mean, it's not like we have much of 2021 to like say. So even though this past year was really hard in a lot of ways, and I feel like we all are gonna experience like a lot of PTSD, low-key, I still wouldn't think of it as one of the hardest years of my life. But like, it is, but like, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's a difference between like personally going through something. Like, I think of myself like freshman year of high school, probably like the worst my mental health has ever been. Like, just such a bad year. I think of like that as one of my worst years, or like even sophomore year. So last year, it's like I was pretty good internally for the most part. Like, obviously going through a lot of stress, but it was all external stressors. It wasn't like I personally was like really going through something. So it was like hard in a different way, I guess. But I will say, like, bad days for me these days are usually, I mean, sometimes it's just like I am about to start my period or something, but I feel like I'll just have a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and just want to like not talk to anyone. And usually I just want to like lie in my bed. But something I have been practicing, especially since living alone and being alone a lot in a pandemic, is just fully feeling my emotions. So like, if I have to cry, I will just cry. Like, sometimes I force myself to cry just so I get it out and then I feel better. If you're mad, like, punch a pillow. Like, it actually works because you're getting those chemicals out. You're like releasing it. So that's all I'm going to answer. That's pretty much all that there is. So let me know if you guys want me to do another chit chat like this, but that's it for today. Now this is pretty much a hurry up and wait. I've submitted my content, so now I basically just have to wait for them to reply, and then I'm waiting for something else to come in the mail today, but it hasn't come yet. But then once it does come, then I have to do all this stuff with it, so I'm just basically waiting. Yeah, I know I said this, but I am rewatching Shameless, finally on season 4. I don't think I fully watched season 4. Weird, because I'll remember certain scenes, but like I don't remember when I watched it. But I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. So maybe I'll watch some of that. And then I also want to do a Valentine's Day mukbang for my OnlyFans. So I low-key might order some food or something. I've been so hungry these past couple days too, y'all. I know I'm about to start my period, like. Okay, y'all, so dude, fucking Mercury retrograde. But this whole day I'm like waiting for this brand to reply, Usually they reply pretty fast. Like, I feel like if I've worked with a brand before, I know their vibe. Some people reply right away. Some of them, it takes like a few days. Some of them, it's like, okay, I know they'll get back to me. I never sent the message. It was literally in my draft. So good thing I checked and I got it to them by the end, like before the end of the day. But anyway, story time. This might be kind of another Mercury retrograde vibe. So I ordered some food. I got some chicken kebab. For all my delivery apps, I have the instructions set. It's like, do this, whatever, tell the front desk this, whatever. And sometimes, you know, the person at the front desk isn't there. So they call me or they text me and they're like, can you come down? Because no one's here to let me in. So it's like annoying, but it's like, okay, whatever, I understand. This person literally just texts me. First I get the Postmate notification that's like, oh, your order has been delivered, like rate, tip, etc. And they texted me and they were like, I left it on the call box. Bitch, you're gonna leave my food abandoned on the streets of Los Angeles? Because it's literally just like the street. It's literally just the sidewalk. Like anyone could just grab that at any time. So I was like, fuck, no, if someone takes my food, I swear to God. I rush down as fast as I can and it's literally just sitting there. And there's hella people in the lobby, like the front desk guy is there. He's like, yeah, I saw that happen. Like, I don't know. So thank God it worked out. Like, it's funny now because I didn't lose my food. But bitch, do not play with my food like that. I just feel like I'm a pretty understanding person. Like, sometimes I'll get annoyed, but it's like, okay, for example, if the front desk person isn't there, obviously the only logical thing to do is to call the person and say, can you come down? And it's like, I wanted this delivered to my door, but okay. Like, okay, and also tip them and whatever, because it's still, you're still providing the service and you're still waiting with my food for the handoff. Like, I just hate when people are unreasonable. Is that an unreasonable thing to be upset at? Radish. Kind of like, I wish it was a little colder. I have a solution for that, sweetie. So anyway, I'm gonna film this now. And yeah, Mercury retrograde, I swear to God. Okay, y'all, so that is going to be the end of today's vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A and this story time and this tea, honestly. Having my classic lavender chamomile. What a fucking day it's been. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment down below and I will see you guys in the next video.